The camera wasn't supposed to capture anything unusual that night. It was just another routine recording: a hallway, a staircase, an empty room, hours of nothing, silence, stillness. But when the footage was reviewed later, something was there. Not a blur, not a trick of light, something that wasn't supposed to exist. In today's video, we are going to talk about real ghosts caught on camera that still have no explanation. Footage that has been analyzed, slowed down, enhanced, debated, and still remains unresolved. These are not dramatic horror movie scenes. These are moments captured accidentally. Moments that raise uncomfortable questions. Because if even one of these clips is genuine, then reality is not what we think it is. Let us begin with one of the most famous photographs ever taken, the image, known as the Brown Lady of Renholm Hall. In 1936, two photographers were documenting the grand staircase of the historic English mansion. It was an ordinary assignment. They weren't ghost hunters. They weren't expecting anything unusual. They set up their camera, adjusted exposure, and captured the staircase. When the photograph was developed, a semi-transparent female figure appeared descending the stairs. She wore what looked like an old-fashioned gown. Her face was blurred but defined. Her presence was unmistakable. The photographers insisted no one was there at the time. Experts examined the negative. Some claimed it was double exposure. Others argued there was no evidence of manipulation. Here's what makes it unsettling. The image was captured decades before modern digital editing. It wasn't Photoshop. It wasn't CGI. It was film. And to this day, no definitive explanation has satisfied everyone. Now fast forward to the age of security cameras. In 2003, at Hampton Court Palace, security staff noticed something odd. A heavy fire door kept opening on its own. They assumed it was faulty hinges or a draft, but when they reviewed CCTV footage, they saw something chilling. A tall, hooded figure appeared at the doorway. It seemed solid, almost human. It held the door open, then retreated. Ten Bunny said, not walked away. Vanished. Multiple camera angles were reviewed. No intruders were found. No physical explanation was confirmed. Skeptics suggested it could have been fabric caught in the wind, a trick of lighting, but the figure's movement appeared intentional. And intention is what disturbs people most, because random glitches are one thing. Purposeful motion is another. Let's talk about something more modern: baby monitors. A young couple installed a night vision camera to watch their infant sleep. Everything was normal for weeks. Then one night, reviewing footage, they saw the crib shaking violently. Not gently rocking, not subtle movement. Shaking as if someone were grabbing it. They rushed into the room. The baby was asleep. The crib was still. They checked the video again. The shaking was clear. No one visible. No shadows. No sign of interference. Experts later suggested signal interference could distort digital footage. Compression artifacts might create illusions of motion, but the movement looked physical. And more importantly, it happened multiple times. Imagine being those parents, trusting technology to ensure safety, only to see something you cannot explain. That loss of certainty is terrifying. Now, consider a case from a parking garage in Japan. Security footage shows a man waiting alone for an elevator late at night. The polished metal doors reflect the hallway behind him. In the reflection, a pale woman appears standing inches behind him. He does not react. The elevator doors open. He steps inside. The reflection still shows her standing there. When the doors close, she disappears. Management reviewed other cameras. No one else was present. No other angles showed a second person entering the frame. Reflection anomalies are particularly disturbing because mirrors have long been associated with superstition. Many cultures believe mirrors can trap spirits or reveal hidden presences. But modern security footage isn't folklore, it's data. So what was standing behind him? Battlefields are another hotspot for unexplained captures. At Gettysburg, tourists recorded a figure walking through the trees. At first glance, it appeared to be a reenactor in period clothing. But something was off. The figure seemed semi-transparent. It walked through a fence without reacting, then faded. The tourists weren't conducting a paranormal investigation. They were filming casually. That's often the pattern with compelling footage. It wasn't meant to capture anything paranormal. It just happened. Then there are hospital recordings. One clip shows a quiet hallway, late at night. A wheelchair at the far end begins to move. Slowly, rolling forward, then turning, as if guided. A security guard notices and approaches cautiously. As he gets closer, the wheelchair tips over violently. No one else is present. No visible force. Some argued that uneven flooring or air pressure could cause movement. But direction changes are harder to explain. Movement that appears reactive is even harder. Let's go deeper. There are countless clips showing shadow figures' dark silhouettes, appearing briefly in doorways or corners. In one live news broadcast inside an abandoned building, viewers noticed something the crew did not. Behind the reporter, in a doorway, stood a tall, thin shadow. It did not move like a person. It stretched upward unnaturally, then disappeared. The reporter continued speaking, unaware. Viewers flooded the station with messages asking about the figure. No explanation was provided. Shadow figures are often dismissed as lighting issues. Cameras struggle in low light. Contrast creates illusions, but when multiple frames show consistent shape and motion, dismissal becomes less simple. Another unsettling category involves interaction. In some investigations, people ask questions in empty rooms. Knock. Once. Knock. Echoes. Knock twice. 2 knocks respond. This repeats. Is it coincidence? Old pipes. Building settling, possibly. But the alignment with verbal requests adds a layer of complexity. One of the most chilling cases involves audio. Electronic voice phenomena VEP. Recordings capture whispers, not heard in real time. Investigators ask, is anyone here? Later, reviewing audio, a faint voice responds, yes. Skeptics argue audio pareidolia causes us to interpret static as words. Our brains search for patterns in noise. But some recordings contain responses so clear that even skeptics pause. And then there are animals, dogs barking at empty corners, cats tracking movement across blank walls, animals reacting simultaneously during recorded anomalies. Animals don't believe in ghost stories. They don't create legends. So what are they reacting to? Of course, not every clip is authentic. The internet is filled with hoaxes. Editing software is powerful. Attention is currency, but some footage predates digital editing. Some comes from official security systems. Some includes multiple witnesses present during the event. So where does that leave us? Science demands ghost phenomena are inconsistent, unpredictable. Rare, that makes them difficult to study. But rarity does not equal impossibility. Lightning was once mysterious, so were hymns. Human understanding evolves. Perhaps what we label ghosts is something we simply lack the tools to measure. Residual energy, dimensional overlap. Electromagnetic anomalies affecting perception. Or perhaps they are exactly what they appear to be, remnants of consciousness. That possibility is what unsettles people most. Because if consciousness can persist, then death is not the end. And if death is not the end, then we are never truly alone. Think about how many cameras surround us daily. Street cameras, dash cams, doorbells, phones. We record constantly. How many unexplained anomalies have gone unnoticed? How many images in your gallery contain something you didn't see? Have you ever taken a photo and later noticed something in the background? A face in a window, a figure at the edge of a frame. Most of us dismiss it quickly. We prefer comfortable explanations. But sometimes, comfort doesn't fit. The true fear in unexplained footage isn't jump scares. It's subtlety. A door slightly ajar that was closed moments before. A reflection that doesn't match reality. A whisper beneath silence. Because subtlety feels real. It doesn't demand attention. It waits to be noticed. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Maybe ghosts aren't dramatic apparitions floating through walls. Maybe they're quiet observers, occasionally stepping into frame, occasionally interacting just enough to remind us they're there. Or maybe every unexplained clip is simply the product of coincidence, malfunction, and human imagination. The uncertainty is what lingers, because certainty brings closure, and closure ends fear. But mystery stays with you. Tonight, when you turn off your lights, when your house is quiet, when your phone camera reflects the dark room behind you, take a second look. Not at the obvious, at the background, at the corners. Because sometimes, what's unexplained doesn't announce itself loudly. It stands still, silent, waiting for the moment you finally notice. If this video made you question what cameras might truly capture, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. There are many more unexplained mysteries waiting to be explored, and some of them may already be closer than you think.